This call is being recorded.
All right. I want to welcome everybody that's going to be on the podcast that I'm going to be doing after this. Right now, I'm doing an introduction song on Spreaker. So we are up live on Spreaker as well as on Uber Conference and the Google Hangout. I want to thank all those that are participating or will be participating in the call. But now, hold on, I need that. So right now, I'm playing the music. You might be able to hear a little bit of it. All right, class in session. We're about to jump it off. It is 10:02. This is Brother Hatim. I'd like to welcome you to Gye-Nyame Journey and Tribal Quote. For those that are new to the program, I'd like to thank you for taking the time. Those that are old soldiers that's been coming around, because, you know, this is our 59th time doing this show. You know what I'm saying? It's the 59th time of us doing Tribal Quotes. So I want to thank those that's being diehards on this and those that are joining me on the journey. Believe me, the course is on its way. I'm slowly but surely working on that. My next book is about to be completed. And right now, I am in Gye-Nyame complex mode. I am thinking and meditating and drawing a Gye-Nyame complex. I want a city within a city. I want to purchase a community. I ain't just talking about getting some old dilapidated stuff or allow somebody to give us some old dilapidated stuff and cheat us out of our money. No. I'm talking about getting some quality stuff. I'm talking about getting some stuff already in operation. I'm talking about paying cash. Getting the property. And after we get the property, right, we give everybody time for their lease to get up, and as they let them start getting out, we can sit on the property and we can start sending people through a process to make sure that we get the right people in the complex. Look, I'm in Gye-Nyame complex mode. I am hyped. Man, I am hyped because I got people. I had my brother call me from Chicago today. Actually, he called to make sure that I didn't drink up the chaga. I made some chaga mead, and he just was calling to make sure that his big bro ain't drink up the chaga mead, because he was supposed to be here earlier this week. He was supposed to come tomorrow, but he got delayed, so he's trying to get up here Saturday. He's trying to get up here. He don't want Brother Hatim to enjoy this chaga mead that's been brewing for maybe about 30, 35 days now. I know it's supposed to sit longer than that, but what we're trying to do, we're trying to find a process where we can extract all of the stuff that'll come out the chaga. One, chaga is a special thing, because when it's a mushroom, when you distill it with water, like when you make it into a tea, it releases certain nutrients, right? But then when you soak it in alcohol, it releases certain nutrients as well, but they're different than the ones that's water soluble. So you got water soluble nutrients that come out of chaga, then you got nutrients that are not water soluble but are alcohol soluble. So when you soak in alcohol, you get a different set of vitamins and nutrients from it. So whether you drink it as a tea or whether you drink it as a tincture, you're getting power. But the major reason that me and him have decided to experiment with chaga is because chaga is one of the few plants, if not the only plants, that produce large amounts of melanin. It's a mushroom that grows large amounts of melanin, which is, oh my God. I mean, it's just, I mean, I posted something up on my timeline today about chaga. We're going to go in. We're going to have some more discussion about chaga, but I just want to introduce that. I want to make sure that you know that on Tuesdays we do folk tales for grown folks, and we had an excellent show last night. I want to thank all the people that showed up. We had the Traveler, Brother D. We had Brother Yancey from Atlanta. We had Sister Janice from Detroit. I mean, that was like a national circle popping off right there. You know what I'm saying? It was a beautiful thing because I haven't spoke to Yancey nor Janice in years, and they popped up and they blessed me with their presence. And I want each and every last one of y'all to know, even if I argue with you on the show, that you coming on the show is a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Not only is it a blessing to me, it's a blessing to everybody that might listen to the show, because we never know how the Creator is using us. We never know how the words that we may speak may influence somebody else. So we have to always be cognizant of that. That's why I keep on talking about this wisdom minded, because it's dirty work. It's hard work. Sometimes we got to clash our thoughts in order to distill some of the information that our ancestors left us. They left it in code. You know what I'm saying? They left it in things called quotes and proverbs. They left it in folk tales. They left it in myths and metaphors. They left this wisdom here for us, but they didn't just lay it out, because wisdom isn't something that you get. You know what I'm saying? Wisdom is something that you gain. You know what I'm saying? You can get knowledge, because we all know a bunch of smart people who can't do a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? We know a bunch of smart people. They got a lot of book sense. You know what I'm saying? They could tell you, they could read the hieroglyphs off the wall. You know what I'm saying? They could tell you what star is up in the sky right now. You know what I'm saying? They could tell you what tobacco does to your body, and they could break down what every herb can do. But when it comes to them putting something in action, they can do nothing. See, wisdom is done, and wisdom is something that requires you to take action, because wisdom is found in action. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, we want to believe that wisdom comes to us as we're meditating and sitting still. No, it comes to us as we're meditating in action. You see what I'm saying? Because wisdom comes from experience. All right. Man, oh man, I heard somebody click in, and I don't know who's joining us on the line.
Brother D.
What's up? So tonight you was able to get up on the Hangout.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Welcome, bro. So are you on your phone or are you on a computer?
I'm on a tablet right now.
All right, can you see the day thing pop up? Day 59?
Yeah.
Okay,
yep.
Cool. So we're about to go through that and start breaking it down. Once again, for those that's listening on Spreaker, if you want to listen and you're comfortable just listening, you're more than welcome to continue that. If you want to join the conversation after once we start the conversation, feel free to hit us up at 614-556-4535. That's 614-556-4535. Or you can hit us up, if this is international, you can hit us up at uberconference.com/Hatim Gye-Nyame. That's HA2TIMGYENYAME. All right. So now, man, do we have some jewels today? I just heard somebody else pop in on the line. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm back. Hi, Tim. It's Janice.
What's up? Oh, my God. I'm blessed again. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
It's
Are
addictive.
you on your phone
it's addictive. I'm on the phone, but I'm getting ready to get on the computer.
All right, cool, because on the computer, I have I have the screen up so that you can see the proverb that we are the proverbs and the quotes we're using today.
Okay.
We're going to be coming from Gye-Nyame Journey Workbook, Tribal Quotes. A book compiled by myself. I compiled them. It's basically a bunch of proverbs and quotes that I went through over a period of maybe 3 years, working with young people as well as adults. And I compiled them, and it's like a 90-day process where an individual could go on and get some personal enlightenment. It's like I call it a 91.25 day process that a person go through, a whole season that they go through in order to work on themselves, self-mastery. But now, I'm about to go on and read through them, and what I do is I'll read through them, and then we'll come back and start discussing, debating, arguing, building, sharing, just basic wisdom mining on each one of these, because in these proverbs and quotes may lie the key that one of us need to not only unlock our lives, but to unlock the minds of those, to unlock the lives of those around us. All right, so here we go. We on day 59. We done did this 59 times.
Wow.
I've been doing this for, this is like my 950th show. I'm somewhere between 950 and 1,000. I don't know, right? But as far as this one, we on day 59. So here we go. Try not to become a man of success. Hold on. Somebody else joined us. Who is that?
Aisha.
You want to introduce yourself?
Okay.
Or did somebody join us, or did somebody drop off?
No, I just joined.
Nobody.
Okay. Wow. Hold
joined.
on. Who is that? You want to introduce yourself?
Yes.
Yes. Who I said?
This is Jill Jackson.
What's up, Miss Jill? How you doing?
I'm well, brother and sisters. How's everybody?
And this is
doing good.
It's doing good.
Miss Janice, do you know Jill Jackson?
Do I?
She went to Ohio State, and I think she was up at Ohio State when we was at Ohio State.
Okay, well then I know her.
All right, so
Hatim, who were you speaking to?
A sister by the name of Janice Raleigh.
Jill, what year were you at Ohio State?
91 through 93.
Yep, Janice Raleigh. I was always in the Black Cultural Center.
Me too, sis.
Yep. There you go. So
I was a part of the protest and a part
Okay.
of the activism. I ended up being the assistant director of the African American Living Learning Center as a result of our request to you know what it was. I ain't got to explain it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
Nice
good.
to become reacquainted.
Good talking to you again too.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Brother Hatim, for this thing.
Yes.
Oh man, hey, that's what it's about, right? Because we're about to sharpen our swords. Because
That's right.
So y'all get ready, because we're gonna have some difference of opinions, possibly, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So we got Aisha on the line, but I guess she's just in listening.
What's up, sis?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hi, sis.
Yep.
Oh, hi.
Oh, damn, I can hear.
I had been speaking earlier when y'all were introducing yourself, and I didn't think y'all could hear me at all. So, but hello, everyone.
We can hear you now. Wow, brother D.
Yep.
Yeah, outnumbered, dog. The women, oh my God. See, but hey, this is the piece that I have to share. I honestly believe that
Lay
liberation
the foundation, though.
of the women. I honestly believe that, because if we change the direction of the woman, you know what I'm saying, men have no choice but to correct their actions, because every last one of y'all know that these dudes, a lot of these dudes, do what they do to impress women. I know I have. My whole life I have tried to impress women. It ain't worked that well, but hey. Hey. But the point is, because how can I put it? The woman is God. So when she's going wrong, the community has no choice but to go wrong, because she's the first mother. She's the first teacher. She's the first nurturer. So if she's not on it, there's nothing that we could do. Because one of the things that I learned from studying the myths and y'all really need to listen to this as women. You on the video call too, sis, huh?
Yep.
All right. Now, if those of you that know the story of Asar and Aset, in a sense, our civilization was started by single women. From Nut, starting off with Nut, or some say Nut, as well as Aset. It started with single women. So this single woman thing is nothing new to us. You know what I'm saying? It's just coming at us in a different way. But hey, y'all ready for the proverbs and quotes?
Yes.
If you are on a computer, you should be able to see it now because I'm sharing the screen on Uber Conference as well as the Hangout. Can you see it? Those on the Hangout, can you see it?
I got it.
All right, those that's on the call, if you are on your computer, you should be able to see it, and you might be able to see it on your phone. I can't guarantee because I haven't figured out the Uber Conference yet, but I'm pausing for a second because every time I got ready to get into it, somebody popped in. I'm waiting for somebody. I'm about to say it, and as soon as I start, watch somebody come in. First proverb: try not to become a man of success, but rather become a man of value. That's Albert Einstein. The next one is: a child's life is like a piece of paper on which every person leaves a mark. Wow. That's a Chinese proverb. And last but not least, every time an elder dies,
a library
has burnt down.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Africa.
Yeah.
Now, does anybody know? Because when I looked this one up, the only one I could find was West Africa. Does anybody have a specific? Does everybody have a specific link? I mean, a specific country in West Africa that this might come from?
No, I don't know, but I know I've heard that proverb before, and I love the value of the content. So sorry,
Gambia.
You say who? Gambia? Okay, I'll go for that Gambia. All right. So we got somebody speaking up for Gambia. Don't worry about it, Yvonne. If you can't see it, it's cool because we're gonna go back through each one, and we're gonna dissect each one, and we're gonna start our discussion on each one now.
So wait, can I say this right quick, Tim?
Handle your business. It's your show.
A child's life is like a piece of paper on which every person leaves a mark. If it's a Chinese proverb, that's the whole Asiatic Black Man Association. Ain't nothing Chinese about that proverb. That's African.
Oh, okay. Hey.
I'm claiming that for us.
All right. Hey, that's called Kuja Chakalia. I agree with you.
Right.
So Yvonne want me to text this piece to her. So what I'm going to do is give me 1 second, y'all, and I am going to text the link to her so she could get it. Copy link address. Boom. And then I am going to send it to her right now. It's coming to you on something called Push Bullet. Everybody that has, if you have Android, you might want to try this Push Bullet. It's kind of dope. It was dope until I figured out that I don't know how to send. So I kind of messed up. All right, I spoke too soon. It's not that dope.
What if you hit enter? Did you try hitting enter?
It didn't. Oh, it worked. All right. So now she got the link. So now I'm going back to now. Sister Janice, since you started and you chose that one because you wanted to claim that one because you're right. You know what I'm saying? Because one of the things that we got to do, we got to start breaking down these illusion, that Asiatic, African type thing. You know what I'm saying? Because one of the things we definitely got to destroy with our children is some of the myths that our children are told. Like, for example, the place called Europe.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? In actuality, we all know when you really look at the map, there's no continent called Europe.
Right.
You know, Europe is nothing but Western Asia. They done colored it up and trying to fool somebody so that they can feel special. There is no place called Europe. There's just Western Asia. You know what I'm saying? So when the Egyptians talked about whooping the Asiatics, they was not only talking about India and China, they was talking about those individuals coming up out of Europe as well, because that's Asia. All right. So since you started with that one, do you want to go in on that one first? Because you work with children. Matter of fact, Jill, you ought to have your blade ready for this one. A child's life is like a piece of paper on which every person leaves a mark.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Every single thing that we say, that we do, that we intimate, that we emit emotionally impacts children. They may not be able to interpret or comprehend, but everything that they experience shapes who they are.
Right. Okay.
Man, all right. So now I got a question. So, all right. So, like, cause yesterday, when Yancy was on, he was talking about how the children, right now, the old heads can't deal with a lot of young boys now because they straight killers. They are truly heartless. So, is that heartlessness a result of this proverb?
Yeah. Well, let me say this. I have come to believe that the whole world is confused. Okay, let me say this. Children of color are rarely seen as children. And one of the things I point to for everybody is that during Trayvon Martin's, during Zimmerman's trial, they kept talking about Trayvon like he was 30 years old. And my assertion repeatedly was he was a kid. He was a child. And when you're talking about kids, you have to allow for no wisdom. You have to allow for all those silly things that we do and that we all say when we're young. Connecting that to the larger issue, there's a distinction between children and adults, but communities of color don't have that luxury because all they see is the color. And so when you're talking about kids, whether the kid is 15 or 30, everybody talks about them the same way. And that's got to change because kids they're malleable. They are incredibly resilient. They absorb things like sponges more than sponges do. Mm-hmm. And what we're doing to our kids is really, it's inhumane and reprehensible. It really is. We dog kids about who they are and how they manifest, and they're only imitating a bad imitation, like James Baldwin said.
They only imitate. You said they're only imitating a bad imitation.
James Baldwin said the Europeans that came here were a bad imitation of a bad imitation. My argument is that when we talk negatively about children, kids are only imitating what they see, and so we're not really criticizing the children. We're making assessments about our adult failures. I'm at a point right now where I'm even challenging the concept of many of us even being adults. And there it is.
You know what I'm saying? Because because it's almost like, because when you said that children absorb things and they might not even be able to define those things that they absorb, what happens to an individual when their whole life they have been guided towards? And I know a lot of people are not going to feel me on this, but all of us are old enough to remember when the major thing that people was telling us that we need to get prepared for was a job. You know what I'm saying? And I remember sitting in church, because I used to have to go to church with my grandmother every Sunday, and I would sit in the back and I would read the book. And I ran into the book in the Bible called, they say it was Job, but it's spelled just like job, and I associated the adventures of Job with a job. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, boom. So it's like I'm slaving for somebody else. I got to take all that. You know what I'm saying? So my whole life, I was guided towards getting a job. You know what I'm saying? No ownership. You know what I'm saying? When you and it's like our children are picking this up, and I think they pick up our I don't even know how would I put that? They pick up our contradictions.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then they act out on the contradictions because they don't have the savvy to put on the mask like we do, and we get upset with them when they don't put on the mask. You know what I'm saying? Saying more things to them and damaging that piece of paper. So according to what you're saying, or what I'm getting from you, that our children's paper, you know what I'm saying, a child is like a piece of paper. Our children are so marked up at this point in time that the paper is almost useless.
Exactly. And we're not considering what we've written on that paper. All we do is look at the paper and we say the paper is effed up. The paper is missing things. The paper lacks substance. And we're not looking at the fact that we're the ones writing on that paper.
Or allowing others to
Correct.
write for us.
That's right.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
who we expose our children to.
That's right.
So, I mean, that one, I mean, like I said, man, our ancestors, dog, it's almost like, things haven't changed at all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we got a little bit fancier toys. You know what I'm saying? The toys might be a little bit more, but when it comes down to basic existence, the wisdom that our ancestors dropped on us is it's not even in a sense, it's eternal. You know what I'm saying? A child's life is like a piece of paper on which every person leaves a mark. You know what I'm saying? So for all those children that's been molested, for all those children that have been abused, for all those children that have been neglected, for all those children, man, I got to use this for my workshop. I got to remember this. For all those children that we want to sit still in class, when they can't sit still in class because the classroom might be the only safe place that they have, might be the only place where they might get to express the childhood that you say that not only the outside society denies them, but we deny it to them as well, because we don't provide them the protection that children deserve.
And the powerful statement that that he made last night about teaching kids about dance and tumbling and how our kids don't even know how to fall. And so, it's very, very connected to this proverb that we're talking about, because we're all going to fall.
Mm-hmm.
We used to teach our children how to fall. Now what the kids have ascertained is that falling is failure. Falling is something that should never happen. And so we give them this illusion that you're better than someone else if you never fall. And nothing could be further from the truth.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Because we allow them to see the end. So they see the end of a lot of these rappers' careers. You know what I'm saying? They don't see the 5 years that they worked up towards being able to get on stage, or they get to see somebody in college, but they don't get to see all the stuff that went on to get that individual to be able to do the sport, to be able to sit in the classroom that he wanted to sit in college, or to, you know what I'm saying? So we allow our kids to see the end, but we don't really discuss with them the process of becoming.
That's right. We don't talk about process. That's right.
And you know what I'm saying? And we're very untrusting of processes, because a lot of the processes that we had to go through when we were younger probably left a negative mark on us.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know it's more than just three of us on this call. Somebody else needs to come on here and say something. Did y'all hang up? Jill, you still there?
Yeah, so let me chime in.
Go ahead.
It's kind of like seed time and harvest.
Yes.
The garden theme is always relevant, and I think about the time that when we used to take the urban warriors out to New Harvest when we started the garden out there. But seeing that process of putting the seed in the ground, and of course it's going to take time for that process for it to actually show that there's life there. And so, but now we're dealing with our seeds or our children, and society is trying to GMO them.
Wow. So, say that again. That's quotable, dog. You said, I'm about to tweak that. You said society is trying to GMO our children. I just came up with that. society is trying to do.
They're not trying, they doing it.
They are.
Yeah, but our children are seeds, and society is GMO in them.
Yep.
Genetically modifying them through the food that they're giving them, the information that they're giving them, and they're bombarded with so much, and without having that process of being able to interact and learn from elders and glean wisdom from them in order and learning how to deal with the technology that is given to them. It's our job as those people that are in the middle to forge that link again. Because like I say all the time, I have a very uncommon life. The fact that until 2010, I had all 4 of my grandparents. I still have 3 of them left. My parents have been together forever. The uncles that are closest to me, they've been together forever. So just learning from them and, just seeing the time that they put in to developing processes for their lives for them to be successful. I mean, the fact that my parents are going into their 5th year of retirement and they still bringing in 6 figures of income is like, that's a big deal.
Hell yeah. Can I borrow $20? Hey. I mean, they're getting their hustle on now. I'm pulling out the African openers to the Tree of Life. And I'm trying to look for that one proverb where it says the best life is achieved through engagement with systematic processes. Mm-hmm. Our ancestors believed deeply in getting us engaged with processes. That's why a lot of rituals take place during certain times of the year, because those certain times only happen at specific times, and I mean, like the solstice. You know what I'm saying? There's certain celebrations that happens on solstices and equinoxes. There were certain holidays. You know what I'm saying? Like you had in between the solstices and equinox, you had like quarter days that we had celebrations around, and all these were systematic steps in a year that was repeatable. And when we did them, we in a sense plugged in with the Creator and our ancestors, because our ancestors did it before us, and by us doing that, we in a sense became our ancestors who have a direct link with the Creator, which reminds us ultimately about who we are. Right. You know what I'm saying? So when we engage in systematic processes and we start teaching our children, see, we don't even teach our children about the process of learning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you're just supposed to get it. You know what I'm saying? And either if you don't get it, you're not smart. You know what I'm saying? I hate this whole smart concept. You know what I'm saying? Because it robs our children of the opportunity of becoming. You know what I'm saying? It's like I just supposed to be naturally good at math, or I'm naturally good. Like I used to, when I used to think back at football, my coach used to tell me that I had a natural stride when I used to run. But then when I got older and I started thinking about it, it wasn't nothing natural about my stride, because my grandparents lived across the street from a playground that I used to be able to run in all day long. I used to practice running. It was nothing natural about me running, or nothing natural about my athletic ability. It was from practice. I'm sorry, but go ahead. Y'all got to stop me because I get into it. Hello? Did they hang up? Everybody hung up?
No. I'm here.
Oh. So
Yancey back.
What's up, bro? How you doing?
My friend?
I'm doing
wonderful.
Good, man. It's good to hear your voice, man.
Thank you, sir. Hey, get off my.
Yancey.
Huh? Yes, ma'am.
This is Janice. I didn't know you were part comedian. You had me laughing on your Facebook post today.
I be a little bit everywhere.
It was fun. That was fun.
I missed it.
I did try to stay away from the negative. Anything else is, it's fair game.
I needed that today.
I'm gonna go and get on Facebook and catch up, man. Because I'm like,
I don't even know exactly what you're talking about. We were so everywhere today. I was so confused. What was we talking about? The game?
It don't matter. The stuff I saw from you is what made me smile. Everything else was just far too serious.
So, hey, I'm going to get up on it, but that's what it's about. That's what social network is about, passing that information.
That's right.
To the lab. It's that positive. It's that, I ain't going to say positive. It's that balance energy, because sometimes we do need to vent. Sometimes we need to tell Sometimes we need to tell a joke.
I just like I try to, you see my posts be mostly, truthful stuff and stuff to be, but when people try to come sideways, I don't allow them. I don't allow.
Yeah, I see you should have come. I don't even say that. You just be shutting people down. You don't have an answer. So. All right. Now I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Here's the question. Are we done with this proverb? A child's life is like a piece of paper on which every person leaves a mark. Anybody else want to say anything on that one?
I would like to say.
Is that Jill?
It is Jill.
Well, go ahead, Miss Jill.
It ain't gonna be that deep. All I want to say is that I don't know everyone on the phone, but I think I would feel comfortable saying that we're the people that we were talking about that stand in the gap, to try and bridge or try and be the Sankofa in the process and connect the past with the present. And you all know that some of you all on the line know that we have been working, or you all have been working. I want to commend, especially you and Devin. You all, I know the work that you all have maintained for 20 plus years in making that connection, especially with boys and girls, but with boys particularly. And then, of course, I thank and love and appreciate you for your work with my boys. But when I did prevention work, direct service, and that community work, I used to always apologize, if you will, to young people, because I would talk with them about how they felt about always being blamed for being wrong, and how adults would always be accusatory of all the things that we talked about, and talked about really our failure and our role and responsibility as adults. And I really always have conversations about everything post post the 60s, and how we wanted so much for, you all know, capitalism and material gain and, yada, 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 that we laid down the work of maintaining those connections. And now we got 40 years behind us of damage as a result. And I know that I'm talking to the choir members or choir directors on this call, because I know folks on this call are probably doing the work. But we just know we need to continue working with young people and lift them up and be supportive and share knowledge. Now Ancestor Shabaka, that was one of his lessons and legacies for those of us who knew him, and those of us who've been doing this, and just in our ways, just not just have the conversation, but follow it up with the work, and in our own individual ways keep doing that. So I just want to encourage us, because we know the gaps, we know where we've fallen off, and we know what needs to be done.
Janice, I think you remember Brother Shabaka.
Amen, amen, amen.
Did you know Shabaka?
Amen.
Janice?
Of course, absolutely.
All right. Now, I'm going to say this. Jill, you said it wasn't super deep what you said, but one of the things that you got to realize is that after we get there and talking, I download this and I upload it to my Spreaker station, and I don't know how many people listen to it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can tell you number-wise, because I average somewhere between 50 and 100 people that's listening. And one of the things that I want all of us to always realize, when we're doing stuff like this, we're laying stuff down for somebody.
That's
so
right.
Even though the person on this line might have not got what you said, realize that
somebody will.
Exactly.
And can I say that, Jill? Let me say this as an amen to what you just said. One of the reasons why I have former high school students who are now 30 plus years old and say to me, Miss Riley, you the real MVP. My first day of class with my students, I would always start with, I want to apologize on behalf of all of your elders for all that you don't know, for all that you don't comprehend, for all that you've never taught. And everything that we do in here will be a deliberate attempt to make a difference in what you
write
know
that
and understand. It is not your fault what you don't know. It's our fault. And one of the reasons why those kids...
Right.
No,
I'm just
ahead.
agreeing with you. No, I'm agreeing with you. That's the same thing I would share with them as well, because I felt I saw where our failure were as adults.
That's right.
In our failure to respond. So my way, your way, our way, we're saying the same thing, and we'll just continue doing that work. I feel it's so much more, even as I talk to young people now that are in their 20s and 30s, it's amazing their concept of life. And so the work has to continue, and we have that responsibility, as my brother Devin said, as those in the middle.
That's right.
Hey, can I ask you to repeat that proverb one time, please, Hatim?
It's a child's life is like a piece of paper on which every person leaves a mark.
What I take from that is even without realizing how much of a sponge a child is, I think everything they learning from what they see and what they experience. And I think adults don't always pay attention to that fact. Like, because we're so used to our lives that we're just living our lives. We're not really always accepting and understanding that every second of every day in front of a child, you're setting some type of moral example or something like that. So we have to be really, really careful in front of children, because all they doing is soaking up good and bad, everything from everyone around them, because that's how they're becoming who they are from everybody else. So they're going to pick and choose what attributes and stuff they take. So we got to be real, real, real careful around kids, the stuff that we feed them, even by accident. Casual conversation with another adult, talking about this, talking about that, to us is nothing, but to a kid, they just sitting there just soaking up every single thing. So I think we really got to be really, really careful the things that we feed into these children, feed into the young people. We got to just pay attention to what we saying and what we doing around them, because they taking it as
every
law.
Every act a child does is a duplication of what they've seen or heard or felt from people older than them. Everything.
Now, is anybody old enough to remember? Anybody old enough to remember when the wall fell down between adulthood and childhood?
When what? How Tim say it again?
That's gonna be different ages for different children. Because me, I think I was maybe 13.
Yeah, but
13.
For your generation, y'all was exposed to so much. I mean, because y'all generation was exposed to so much. I mean, even like compared to what the kids are being exposed to now, was nothing. But there was a point in time where there was a true separation between adults. And
maybe 17, 18. It used to be, but that line's so blurred now. Because you look at you know my situation right now with my niece.
Right.
You know Yavi.
Right.
I ain't got to explain nothing on earth. Yavi 12, and Yavi is more experienced and has seen more stuff than most 20-year-olds. You know this to be a fact. So me right now trying to allow her just to be a child is the reason I don't want to let her even come back to Ohio, because this is major. First, she don't even know how to be a child, and she's only 12 years old. She knows absolutely nothing about being a child. She's been a responsible adult since she's been what? 9 years old. About 9. So the line now is so, it ain't no definite.
There's no line.
I mean, it's sad because kids don't even get a chance to experience being a kid. Like, she's at my house now. Nobody would know this is Yavi, because she's actually happy being a kid. She just never had a chance to be a kid because of my sister's situation, but she's happy being a kid here. She does kid stuff. She told me it's the happiest she ever been in her life. The only reason she wants to come home is, she said, because she feels like she has to take care of her mother. No, Yavi, you're not supposed to take care of your mother. Your mother is supposed to take care of you. But in her mind, she really believes that she's responsible for her mother at 12, and that's sad. But it's not just her; it's millions of kids that feel like that.
Absolutely, they only know that what they experience. That's all a child knows. That is their reality, what they've experienced.
Now, what I'm gonna say is what I meant was like there was a time where TV used to go off. I don't know.
At a certain time, it cut up by itself. TV ain't even stay off past 12 o'clock. They played the national anthem and then it turned fuzzy.
And it went off.
Yeah, it went off.
Anybody remember there was only certain shows, like for example, how many of y'all are old enough to remember that the Flintstones was like a rated R cartoon?
Right.
When
that's why my mom and daddy didn't let me look at the Flintstones.
When the Flintstones first came out, a lot of people didn't, because the way they show it now, Flintstones was an adult cartoon.
Yep.
But then I started seeing the wall crumble because, like, for example, I never saw Richard Pryor in person until I was much older. But now our kids can turn on the TV or turn on the radio and hear almost anything. But there was a time where there were certain things that didn't come on when kids were
separated. Yeah.
It was separated. You know what I'm saying? But somehow we allowed that wall to crumble because we're all human beings. See, we fall into this, I guess it's like a Dr. Spock mindset where we're all human beings and we're all the same and stuff like that. No, children used to be separated from adult situations because it would put the culture in a position that it's in right now. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Tim, did anybody else come in on the line since we've been on?
Let me check. You know I run my mouth, so I don't.
Hey, let me just add, hey, Beam, is you on here? Nah, he ain't on here, because I just text somebody, said he's finna call. He'll probably catch the next one. Real good dude, but go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just seeing that.
Oh, no problem. We got Chillicothe. We got Columbus.
He'll be in Savannah, Atlanta. If it ain't no Savannah.
No, I ain't Savannah on his. You the only one in Atlanta. So, I mean, but he can still get, he might still, you text him because we got 2 more to do. You know what I'm saying? Unless y'all ready, I mean, because, you know, this is hard work. This is what I do, you know. And y'all ready to quit. You know, it's sort of like running, man. If you can't keep up with me, I understand. I'm not going to be mad.
I've been looking forward to it all day. I was trying to get home. I'm like, damn, I'm late. I'm trying to get home and get on the phone.
Hey, but the live part about this is you got the number, right? Let me tell everybody this while y'all on the line. I call this the line. Those people that's calling in, when you call in, right, let's say something happens that piss you off or something happening in your city and you want people to know, something that's on your mind. If you got a song you want to sing, I call this the line because I want people to be able to call in and just because it records automatically. When you call in, all I got to do is pick up. If you just want to go off by yourself and you don't want to talk to me, you can call in and leave it. All I got to do is pick up the line. Once I pick up, it'll start recording. And then I could just hang the phone up and you could just go off. And I will post it up on the radio station so everybody can hear it. That's why I call it the line. You know what I'm saying? So please understand, if you have anything that you want to discuss, if you have any wisdom that you want to share, if you have any political views that you want to share, but you don't want to start your own podcast, use this. Call this line. I can pick it up. Boom. Once I pick up, you be like, "Hi, Tim. I just want to rant." All right, cool. I got to go to work. I'll hang up, but leave the line open. You go as long as you want. I pay for it to be like that. So use the line, y'all, and spread it. Now, so we're going to move on to the next one. Miss Jill, are you on your phone or are you on the computer?
I'm just on my phone.
Okay, so you can't see. All right, but I'm going to give you a number, 1 or 3. Which one? Just say 1 or 3. You got a choice between 1 or 3.
That's red pill, blue pill.
That's easy.
Yeah, it ain't no trick. Just pick one, sister. It don't matter.
I love y'all, but if y'all can shut up, so like I'm just playing. I can tell y'all. It's like, no, I'm 3. But Tim, I have this on my heart, so if you don't mind, can I just finish this thought real quick, and then we can go on to what my 3 got to do with anything? As we were transitioning to this next conversation, I know that we all understand also about when we talk about the development of humanity, period. Well, the things that you all were talking about is also the impact of our childhoods on how, we then reflect or share things with young people. And my point is that we have been so anxious to get away from some old ways, like having bedtimes and being structured so that we can be liberated and have a good time. And I know we've discussed this a zillion times, but it's really, I think, significant to our actions as adults. And because we've gotten as adults so far, so many generations away from that base knowledge or from that home training, we're, again, those generations away from the way maybe we used to be raised are really significant to that proverb and to that conversation. So we have to be introspective in this and look at those changes over time as far as family structures and societal structures and how those societal structures have, of course, impacted that proverb and young people's existence today. So it's really multifaceted, and I just wanted to kind of add those elements to it because we don't run our households as much like, I know I even grew up that way, and you didn't mix. My mother and them had parties, but we went to bed, or you didn't mix with adults. And my mom always said children had their place.
But you better not speak while two grown people talking. You
better not open your mouth. Or you better not open your mouth. In fact, you probably would. And it's not like the adults didn't have the conversations we have now. We just weren't privy to them. Children had a place, and them having a place meant that they respected us enough to respect that proverb and understand the practice of that proverb. So I'm trying
to think how old I was when I was allowed to have an opinion. I know I was in my teens before I came to 18.
I was out of my mama's house. I wasn't even in her house no more. That was for sure. Because as long as I was in her house, then that's how that went down. So
her way.
That's why they had kid tables at special functions.
That's right. That's right.
I remember those. We didn't eat with the adults. It was a adult table and a kids table.
Wait. Let me tweak that a little bit. We did eat with the adults. We didn't participate in the adult conversations. We participated in the conversations at the table with the kids. They made sure they were there, but they weren't there.
Right.
Let me say this one thing. This is powerful. My father will be 84. My father said, I'm ready to leave here because the world that exists now doesn't make no sense to me. He said, this is what Daddy said.
That's what my daddy said, too. Yeah.
He said, why in the hell would any grown person allow their child a cell phone? Daddy said, once you give your child a cell phone, you give up all power and control to know who they're talking to and what they're talking about. And so as an 84-year-old, my daddy don't understand the concept of a kid having a phone. Amen.
Right. I mean, that too, that's huge. We couldn't, your parents had to know who you was talking to, who they parents were. So what I'm saying is all of those play a part in this conversation.
Amen.
Oh, yes, it does. Because all those leave marks on the children. And it's so deep that now it done expanded to where we are not even the major persons that are marking on the paper that are our children.
Amen.
We have turned our children totally over to the society, and we wonder why they're crazy. When we know that this society is designed to destroy us.
That's right.
It's designed to destroy us. For us to expect anything less is insanity.
That's right.
So Tim, to me, this goes back to your earlier point of questioning the definition of adulthood as well as childhood, because we have to understand those that are adults have had such bad, made such bad choices in turning away from not wanting to be like the strictness and the structure that which we grew up with, and thinking it's cool, appropriate, and right, and smart, and all those things. Jawanza always talks popular or smart. Y'all know all those 90s philosophies of his, but none of that. You know what I'm saying? We've turned towards that we also have lost or did not get, and so we, I think, are of a very interesting age and a very interesting part of the human development, because we have been significant to the damage because we've also been damaged or chose to be damaged ourselves. Does that make sense?
See, because you got to remember, most of us. Go ahead, Devin.
Process.
You say what?
So we talk about. Well, it goes back to when we were talking about the process. We have so many individuals that they're thrust immediately into adulthood that they miss some of the processes of being a child. And I always think back to the first time I met Sean McMillan, and he was talking about the story of David and how here you had this shepherd boy who was doing what teenage boys did. They tended to the flock. He had brothers who were in the army, who were amongst men. So when he takes what his father sent for them, and he sees Goliath, as far as the story goes, out there calling out the men of his country, and nobody's stepping up. And he says, well, damn it, I'll step up then. So Then he steps up into that place, takes out Goliath. Now he has all of this praise and responsibility heaped on him that he wasn't ready for. And then you look at the story of David as he goes on, and you look at all his downfalls because he wasn't able to go through the process of continuing to be that boy, that child. So we end up with a whole bunch of people that, well, there we go again with the GMO seeds.
Yeah. Sister Aisha, she texted in, she said, our children begin as that piece of paper and transition in the books, libraries as elders. Or at least we want them to do that. But now, because this is my issue as far as the adult piece, how can I put it?
Just go ahead and make it plain.
We were never, our generation from the 60s down to now, we
That's
were
right.
never, the world, the way it was structured, we were never meant to become an adult. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look at an adult, an adult look at the world totally different. Because I had it and I'm losing it. The adult looks at the world from a point of ownership. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like all that was totally erased from us.
Right.
That opportunity. We were one of the first generations that was told that we totally need to just give up everything it meant to be us to try to become them.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? So in us doing that, we gave up adulthood, because part of adulthood is being able to click up with those that are like you and to pursue some ownership. See, because and we are the first generation that is actually making less money than our parents' generation. And here, see, now I come from a home where my grandfather didn't like the house next door to him. So what he did was, because the owners of the next door house would just rent it out to anybody. He didn't want anybody being around his family. He didn't want just any random mug to come and be around his family. So he bought the house and tore the damn thing down and extended his driveway. You know what I'm saying? We are the first generation that is not actually doing better than, in a sense, our grandparents' generation.
The previous generation, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because it's like the whole concept of nation builder and adulthood has been transitioned to be an adult means to do for somebody else. It's like, in order for me to be a man, I have to go to the man so that he could give me permission to be who I already am.
I mean, yeah.
And then we pass that down to the children, and then there we are.
But hold on. This is what's crazy. Our children know that it's insane.
Yes.
So they act, I mean, because it's almost like when you talk to some of these kids, their clarity about this is some bullshit, except they can't say it because they might respect you. They'll say it to one of the weak-ass teachers. But wait.
Let me say this. As a professional educator, one of the challenges we have And I'm not mad at kids. I got love for kids. Kids help us keep us real. But we have to deal with the reality that when children don't really understand something, when it doesn't make plain sense to them, they fucking dismiss it. And that is their real power. And so what I am suggesting is that much of what adults are trying to put down, either intentionally or unintentionally to kids, the young people are like, excuse me, ma'am, no disrespect, that shit don't add up. 2 and 2 don't make 4 with what you're talking about. And so it really is our responsibility, because I think that to recognize that children are not ignorant is really different from trying to impose on them an understanding that they're incapable of having. And what we as adults have to do is really embrace what it means to be a kid and what it means to be an adult, because a child can't be grown. They don't have enough life experience.
Right.
That means all the responsibility is on those of us who have lived longer and who have achieved more options in terms of that presentation. And I'm saying that as adults who are supposed to be able to come up with options, we're failing these kids.
See, but now the issue is that the children outnumber us, because many of the people that we look at as adults are not really adults.
But Hatem, the number of children was never a problem. There generally, in our historical community, there have always been far more young people than old people. But what we had that we don't have anymore is our tradition. Our tradition dictated that it didn't matter if there were 1 or 100 old people.
It might have been 1.
Old people because they were old, and that used to. But what happens now? What is happening now? And this is the power and also the rub. Young people are saying to us, "We understand it ain't that many of y'all, but we also understand that nonsense y'all few are talking about. That shit ain't working." That shit, it doesn't make sense. It ain't getting us nowhere. And we respect your wisdom, but where has your wisdom gotten you?
But hold on. See, but now this is the point that I'm making. Because I agree with you 100%. But I want to add this piece. When I say that the children outnumber the adults, I'm not just talking about those that are 18 and below. I'm talking about those children that's up to 55.
Amen.
Because you see what I'm saying? Because those are the most dangerous ones, because they don't have to listen to you. Because you know what?
Wait. So then it becomes a matter of perspective. Because for me, Hatem, I agree with everything you're saying. But for me, what I've chosen to do so that life continues to make sense is I continue to dedicate my life to people who are absolutely, concretely children. If you've grown, if you're grown as hell and you're still thinking like a child, you are not in my purview. I am focusing on those, and that's why my kids that are grown now love me like they do. I tell them all the time, the adults in your life are stupid. The adults in your life haven't told you the truth. The adults in your life know less than you. I need y'all to go home and teach these grown people what I'm teaching you.
See, you ain't gonna let me move to the next one. I told you this wisdom mining is
We're talking about all of your day 59. We're talking about all of them, Hatem, just simultaneously.
I know, but I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, wisdom mining is some real. I mean, cause look, what I'm telling y'all is that each one of y'all, in your own way, has just saved somebody's life. Somebody gonna pick this up. Like I always tell this story. When I used to put poetry, some of y'all might be old enough to remember pagers. Well, actually, everybody on here old as hell. So,
you
pages where you could where you have to leave a message, and they will hear your message, and then they can leave you You know what I'm saying? I used to leave poetry on mine. So one day this woman called my machine, and she left me a message. She said, I don't know who you are. The name of the poem that I left on it was called The Suicide Poem. I don't know who you are, but I was considering suicide until I heard your poem. You just saved my life. Thank you. And she hung up. But like I said, we never know who might pick up. So each one of y'all just breathe life into somebody. Each one of us just turned one of those adults or one of those grown children into a real adult. Somebody that's seeking, trying to get some territory, trying to provide an economic life, trying to embrace their culture, and trying to be able to speak the language of an adult. You know what I'm saying? Because most people don't even, we are so out of our mind, we don't even see it. But Ms. Jill, you didn't tell me what you said 3. Did you say 3? Was that the number you picked?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm going to go to that real quick because that, and I just want to say for all those that get on this, Sister Janice has used her Kuji Chagalia and has conquered the Chinese and said that is the Black Asiatic man's proverb. So number 2 on my list has been jacked by Queen Nandi and has been put into the realm of African proverbs. So I will go in there and I will change. Since I wrote the book, I'm going in and I'm changing that right now. Any part of Africa you want to say that's from? I just put African proverb. All right.
It don't even matter.
All right. So here we go. Number 3. Every time y'all like this one. Every time an elder dies, it is as if a library has burnt down. What's that?
My favorite. Say that one more time, sir.
Anybody want to jump in on that one real quick? Because we already kind of.
Can you repeat it?
Like Janice already said. But every time an elder dies, it is as if a library has burnt down. How many libraries have burnt down in some of our lives?
That is
so. I was just thinking about Brother Normal today.
Let me say this quick.
It's funny. I was just thinking about Brother Normal today, and I really miss being able to go and sit with that dude. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to go sit with him and, allow him to threaten me. But then I would hear his stories about the 60s. You know what I'm saying? And hear about the Afro set and stuff like that. And it's like we don't, and then if we don't, our children won't come sit with us. So we have to start plugging into our elders so that we can start getting that wisdom, start getting that. Because the respect we show to them is going to be the respect that our children show to us. You know what I'm saying? Because I got what I call my used to be like my divine triangle of elders, because it was only a few men who with their words could actually make me cry. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that as a man, just their disappointment or just the tone in their voice, because all of them, I viewed them as my father. 2 of them are still alive. No more passed away. You know what I'm saying? That showing that respect to them. You know what I'm saying? Because that wisdom, because it ain't even just in what they say to you. A lot of times it's in their actions. You know what I'm saying? I used to watch Normal get up almost every Saturday, no matter how sick he was, and he would get up and try to do that damn food co-op. You know what I'm saying? I say, Normal, you don't want to store nothing? No, I don't want to store. I'm doing this because I've been doing it for years, and it's been helping the community. And I really learned a lot from him, just watching him do it over and over again. And I want to take it to a whole nother level for him.
Let me say
you know
this.
What I'm saying?
Let me say
anybody
this.
else want to hit this proverb?
Let me say this right quick.
Sound like I'm by myself.
In Detroit.
Hello?
Hello?
She on there.
Hello?
She been trying to get in for a minute. You just ain't let her get in there. She been trying to get in there for a minute.
Hello, anybody there?
In Detroit, in particular.
What's going on?
In Detroit, in particular.
Going to Uber.
I don't think he can hear us.
You don't hear me?
Nah.
No,
Still,
he don't hear.
you can hear.
He don't hear none of us. We
Screen
can hear
off.
each other, but for whatever,
Okay,
he ain't on
I'm
there.
just gonna say this. In Detroit,
Nobody there? Hello?
hello, you hear us?
Yeah, we hear you.
In Detroit.
How you gonna be the host and you the only one can't hear nobody?
Hello? All right, here we go.
Your faulty ass
Hello?
show.
I see you talking, but I can't hear you. Okay, cool.
You got.
But I wonder why I can't hear nobody, because I want to make sure that people are able to hear the wisdom that y'all dropping. Let me go on and check.
Will you get y'all brother together?
No.
Get y'all brother together.
Mute ain't on. Man, something always going on. Brother Devin,
you gotta be smarter than a smartphone, Hudson.
All right. Hello? All right, I don't know what's going on. So here we go.
I still want to hear what you was about to say.
I do too, sis. I want to hear what you was getting ready to say.
Everybody back.
Can y'all hear me?
Is anybody?
Seems like we can hear each other.
Do everybody want to hang up and just call? Y'all want to hang up and call the number right back?
Hang out or
we gonna hang up and call back.
Everybody hang up and call back. Everybody hang up and call back. I want to hear what you
send me a message so I can see.
Yeah, because I want to hear what you got to say too.
Sister Aisha, she said that y'all still there, but I don't know what's going on.
Somebody might need to text him
Dennis,
since he can't hear us and let him
Devin,
know
I
that we're
still
going to hang
see
up
you.
and call back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm going to hit him up on the hangout.
Yeah.
Is that Devin?
All right, somebody just sent me a hangout.
That's Devin.
Oh,
Okay.
man. All right. This is what we're going to do. All right. So, as Jenna said, we covered each of the Proverbs already anyway. So we're going to just end the call because it's 11:12 anyway. And I really enjoyed the conversation with each and every last one of y'all. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop the show because we got like an hour and 20 minutes. I'm going to ask everybody to share it because I'm about to take it down and put it back up under tribal quotes. I want to thank everybody for coming out. And
we're good. We're good now.
We just gonna end the show because I see you.
We're gonna end the show.
Y'all see, but I can't.
Oh, you still can't hear us. Oh, that sucks.
But I can't hear nothing. Do I got the right headphones in my damn head?
I see. I'll be on tomorrow.
All right.
I'll be on tomorrow.
Hey, we're going to end the show. And I want to thank all of y'all because it was an excellent conversation. I want to thank each and every last one of you because each of y'all gave me something to think about. I just wish we could have made it through all the Proverbs, but sometimes it's just not meant to be.
So when's the next show?
All right.
You can't hear that.
We'll do this.
Right.
Let's try this before I go. Everybody hang up and call back. I'll keep the line open.
We did that. We did that.
Maybe I need to take the screen share off. Let me take the screen share off. Stop.
Can you hear me?
All right. I don't want my big forehead on the screen. Miss Janice has hung up. I'm gonna leave the line open. All right. Yancy, just call back in. Miss Janice, just call back in.
Can you hear us?
All right. What I'm gonna do? Wow, I gotta hang up and call back in? That's whack. All right. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hang up and I'm gonna call back in. So that means that everybody that want to get back on, I'm gonna hang up and call back in. Or no, that'll mess it up.
Jill, you hear me?
We can hear each other.
Oh,
He just can't hear us.
I just want to hear what Janice had to say about Detroit.
Hey, me too. Janice, go on and say what you gonna say.
I'm about to lose my train of thought waiting on Hot Tim.
No, don't wait on so he can still post it.
That was funny. Yeah, he gone. He gonna.
But he's the host, so we gotta. Y'all know how this goes. He's the host, so we gotta hang up because he has to open it up. So we're on the close.
He gotta open the line back up. Yeah. So let's try. We'll try to call back one more time.
Okay.
If not, we'll just get together on the next.
Yeah, because right now this line is closed. He hung up.